To the Progressive Action TV show. I am your host, Tremel Thompson, founder of Progressive Action, the movement, Progressive Action TV, and everything else, Progressive Action. We are the number one labor show in New York City, probably in the United States, who knows, but definitely in New York City. Um, we have a lot of things to talk about today. You know, there's a lot of stuff going on with the workers. It's election time. People want to know what's going on with me in the election. I'm going to explain that in detail. But there is a lot of talk revolving around this whole entire Tier 6 stuff. And we're going to talk about that because it would be remiss of me to allow these lies to linger, to allow the technology to fester, the three-car Monte workers to get to work. I can't allow that to happen on my watch. So what I have to do is that I have to educate you guys with receipts so you guys can see for yourselves exactly what's going on here regarding our union and stuff. So look, this is very, very, very important information. I need for the Tier 4 people to pay attention. I need for the Tier 6 people in particular to please pay attention to what's going on here. And then after that, I'm going to get into why or how did the union disqualify me for this election, what's my plans going forward, and things of that nature. So I'd like first to start out by you guys. Thanks for coming on to the show. Thanks for watching. Please share out the show. Take a minute to do that. I'm going to have a little drink of water. Got a lot to talk about today, man. A lot to talk about today. Let's get straight into it because this news is crazy. If the union have your email, you can see that they sent out an email yesterday talking about the union discovers MTA mistake on Tier 6 payroll deductions. Now, I don't know, should I read this? Yeah, I'll read this right here. TWU Local 100 President Tony Utano has uncovered a serious error in how the MTA is calculating paycheck deductions for some Tier 6 covered transit workers who exceed the overtime cap, currently approximately $17,000 for 2021 under the Tier 6 plan. All right, look, I'm not going to read all of this, right? I'm going to break this down for you guys because this is just ridiculous. I'll read the next paragraph. Utano pointed out his concerns about the pension calculations in a letter to the MTA last month. The MTA subsequently admitted their error after meeting with Utano and Union Counsel Dennis Engel. As a result, the MTA has committed to correcting the situation as soon as possible, possibly as soon as September, and to provide refunds to those who may have been overcharged. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to what's going on. This is what I mean when I say the MTA is getting involved with our union elections to try to make this administration look like they are fighters. So for those who don't know, Tier 6 became active on the property April 1st, 2012, right? It is now 2021. It took this union administration almost a decade to figure out that this was going to happen, or these mistakes was going to happen. And the reason why they are doing this is because they want to make themselves look like fighters, and this is how they get the assist from the MTA, because the MTA don't want to deal with an administration that they really have to fight. They would rather deal with an administration that bend over backwards for them, that do what they say. That's an extension of management. And that's what this Stand United administration is. They are nothing but an extension of management. Now, back in 2012, when we got Tier 6, we had the union at the time. Then President John Samuelson was like, Tier 6 is worth its weight in gold because we got to keep 25-55, and all the other unions didn't. That's a lie. All the other unions that we should be compared to, sanitation, NYPD, corrections, FDNY, they went to 22 and a half years. Still better than us transit workers. That's something that need to be worked on. I believe that if we shouldn't have 25-55, we should at least have 25 and out any age. Any age we should have that. But remember, in 2012, they told us that Tier 6 was worth its weight in gold. Now, this is what they not telling you about this whole Tier 6 thing. And let me get back to the picture of Utano. This is what they not telling us about the whole Tier 6 thing, right? First of all, in order to get a refund, you have to make at least $15,000 to $17,000 above your base salary. A lot of the Tier 6 workers that came in don't do overtime, right? And if you do overtime, you have to eclipse that $15,000 or that $17,000 mark, depending on what year it is, right? So everybody is not going to get a check. So don't think that, oh, Tier 6, yeah, I'm Tier 6, I'm going to get a check. No, if you're more than likely in a cleaner title or any title where you're 8 hours, you're not going to get a check. If you're in a service delivery department like me and you don't do overtime, $15,000, $17,000 worth of overtime a year, you're not going to get any type of refund. So this is not a Tier 6 victory for everybody. And I want to point this out to you guys to show you that how they are using this as campaign propaganda, and the MTA is helping them. So in that paragraph I just had up there, it says, as a result, the MTA has committed to correcting the situation as soon as possible, possibly as soon as September. Why would they use September as a date to say that they're trying to rectify this as soon as possible? Because that's the time that they have to get their petition signatures. You have to get your signatures during that time. So they want you to feel comfortable. Hey, look, please vote us back in because we are the ones who's currently fighting for this, and we're gonna make sure that you guys get it. So we want to make sure by September that you guys get this. Now, ironically, in that same email, if you look for yourself, the second to last paragraph, they say we will closely monitor how the MTA rectifies this situation, said Utano. It will take time for them to correct it and get the overpayments back to our members caught up in this situation. He said it will take time for them to correct it and get the overpayments back to our members caught up in this situation, right? So how can you say it's going to take time, but then in this paragraph right here, you're going to say by September, probably as soon as September. See, they're lying. They're lying. They can't keep their lies together, and they know that we're not paying attention to anything that's going on, right? Remember, see, Tier 6 money, oh, we're getting a refund. No, everyone is not getting a refund. Once again, if you didn't work $15,000 to $17,000 worth of overtime, you're not getting anything. More than likely, if you're part of a department where it's 8 and skate, you're not getting anything. Maybe the service delivery departments will get something, but what is that base salary based on? Is it based off of the base salary of the top pay of all the transit workers? So check this out. When you first come into transit, you don't start at a top pay. You do not start at a top pay. So what's the base salary? Is it one base salary they basing it off of, or is it a base salary depending on what your base salary is for that year of the wage progression that you're making, right? So the base salary normally for, I think, a conductor is around 68, 69,000. When you first come to transit, you're probably making around 40-something thousand base salary because you're making less money an hour, like $20-something an hour. So in order for you to go above that base salary, you basically got to work probably like $40,000 worth of overtime. You probably got to work like $40,000 worth of overtime. So this is not a win. And to show you guys that the union is BS, this is from the nicest themselves. They over here mentioned $15,000. Once again, Tier 6 was implemented April 1st, 2012. This document has not changed. It always said $15,000 ceiling. I got it squared off right there for you. It always said $15,000 ceiling. So how can it take them a decade to figure out that this was a flaw? So you trying to tell me that they was delayed 10 years before figuring out that Tier 6 workers were screwed? We were screwed from day one. We were screwed from April 1st, 2012. Make no mistake about it. We were screwed from April 1st, 2012. Make no mistake about it. It took them a decade to figure this out. Are you comfortable with having leadership that they on a 10-year, not 10-second lag, not a 10-hour lag, a 10-year lag on figuring out that workers were getting screwed? This should have been figured out the first month, the first paycheck, or the first year. Just to be fair, I ain't gonna be like that. To be fair, they should have figured this out year one. It took them 10 years to figure this out. Is this comfortable? Are you comfortable with having leadership that's on a 10-year lag? I'm not. Not at all. And what about our brothers and sisters who passed away? That's tier 6. Are they families entitled to this? They was using this as campaign propaganda because they have nothing else to stand on. They dropped the ball all last year. We seen that. They dropped the ball every contract, and they always come up with some type of propaganda, always around August or September, so people could fight for them. Now, would we get the money soon? I don't know. But why are they fighting for this now? Why are they fighting for this now? Specifically saying when they championed this thing on us and said that we are worth, our tier 6 is worth its weight in gold because we kept 25.55. Now, let me explain something to you guys about the pension. A real pension victory, which will include all the tier 6, right, will be a pension change of getting rid of the overcap ceiling. Forget about the miscalculation and this story that the MTA and the union was in collusion with. Forget about that. If they want to bring positivity to tier 6, they need to get rid of the cap altogether. I don't want to hear from Utano. I don't want to hear from none of that administration saying that this is a step. This is not a step. This was you guys dropping the ball because this don't have nothing to do with any type of legislation, any type of negotiation. This is a decade of you guys dropping the ball and not paying attention to the most affected pension system in New York State. This is what this is a result of, right? So this is not a step in the right direction. We are actually behind by 10 years. We are behind by 10 years. Now, like I said, if they want to make tier 6 whole, they got to get rid of the cap. And they got to get rid of those wage percentages. So if you make a certain amount of money in 1 year, you pay 2.5%, all the way up to 6% if you make over $100,000. Tier 4 do not have that. So tier 6 right now, if we was to retire off of the salary we get right now, we cannot survive probably anywhere right now because our base salary, they only calculating $15,000 above our base, right? So you're going to get, let's just say your base is, let's just say it's $90,000. You cannot survive with $45,000 in New York City, in Jersey, or Connecticut. You're going to have a really, real modest living. Now, picture 30 years from now. Or the first tier 6 members could retire, I believe, 2037. Right? So picture 2037, you would not be able to survive off of these salaries. So they have to get rid of that overtime cap. They have to get rid of that wage contribution percentage, that 2.5 to 6% for tier 6. Tier 4 only pay 2%. That's what it should be. That's the only thing that they should agree to. But instead of them fighting for us, they said it's worth its weight in gold, and that was that. Right? So this is what we are actually dealing with. Oh, I forgot to mention, if anyone want to join the Zoom, this call, come on screen and talk and let me know how you feel. You could hit the Zoom link inside the video. I will bring you on the screen when we get to that part. But yeah, I see a lot of people tuning in, and it was just told to me or emailed to me yesterday that I am not eligible to run for any position here in Local 100. I cannot run. And I know a lot of people is disappointed. A lot of people is disappointed. And I'm gonna let you guys know exactly what happened and what is our next moves and things of that nature. But yeah, I cannot run this election as it stands right now. So I'm going to explain. What happened is that I was out from COVID, and when I was out from COVID, the MTA decided to put a political attack on me and say that I was committing comp fraud. During that time while I was out, I was not getting a paycheck, right? I wasn't getting no wages. Nothing was coming in. So I couldn't pay my union dues as a result. And in the Constitution, the union Constitution, it say that you can ask for an exoneration. Now, also in the union Constitution, it doesn't say when you have to ask for that exoneration. So I really wasn't thinking about it like that. I was busy trying to get my health together, get my affairs together, and things of that nature. And the last thing I thought, that no matter how much I criticized the union, I would never thought that they would use COVID against me to disqualify me, because I thought that, above all, we was union brothers and sisters. And I come to find out quickly that that wasn't the case, right? So I end up recently, not too long ago, asking for an exoneration. Once again, there's no nothing in the Constitution that says that you have to ask for an exoneration by a certain time. I asked for the exoneration, and the exoneration, what it would do is that it would put me back in good standing and say that I wouldn't have to owe those union dues. They denied the exoneration, and it kept me in bad standing. So the other day, what I decided to do was I paid my union dues. It was like $600 and change. I went to the union hall, paid the $600 and something, and it brought me back in good standing. But in order to run for a union spot, you must be in 12 months continuous good standing. So they basically attacked me for being sick. And in the Constitution, it says that you don't have to make union dues payments if you out because of illness or injury. And I am protected up under that. And the union is just playing a wicked game right now and not allowing me to run for any spot. And it is what it is, right? So what is my next steps? What are you going to do to get involved in things of that nature, right? So there has been, before I get into that, I want to show you guys, this is something from the LMRDA, which is like an oversight of the unions that set election rules within the union. And what the union tried to do also was they tried to create new rules to retroactively work for months where I wouldn't be allowed to correct my situation, right? So John Samuelson and Tony Utano came up with some plan where Tony Utano asked John Samuelson a fictitious question about how something is interpreted, and Samuelson wrote back and said that the exonerations people must ask for the exonerations before the 15th day of every month so they could be excused. So he tried to retroactively make new rules. Now, in the LMRDA, it specifically says the reasonableness of applying a newly adopted restriction on candidacy retroactively depends in part upon the nature of the requirement. It would be unreasonable for a labor organization to enforce eligibility requirements which the members had no opportunity to satisfy. So I cannot satisfy a situation where they created that was for the past, right? So them saying that I must use my exoneration by the 15th or the 15th of that exact month, I can't go back and satisfy that. So they tried to make new rules to specifically disqualify me. Now, what I want to show you guys is that, I bring a lot of receipts. I do a lot of research. I do a lot of reading. I get involved a lot with the stuff here. So come to find out, Map Store VP Richard Davis, he was in the same position. He was in the same position where he wasn't in 12 months continuous good standing. And as you see on this next screenshot that I'm putting up, the the neutral monitor at the time said that Richie Davis was his appeal was denied. He wasn't allowed to run because he wasn't in good standing. Ironically, I found a document that shows that Richie Davis actually ran as a convention delegate in 2009, right? Where he wasn't in good standing for the 12 months continuous good standing. He was allowed to run. So that's one discrepancy, right? And there's a whole bunch more, and I'm not going to really talk on that too much. But this is another case from 2009 where somebody who was running asked for an exoneration, and they gave him an exoneration, even though it wasn't by the 15th of every month, as they say the Constitution is interpreted. They allowed him to run. In fact, the neutral monitor said right here that the appeal is granted. A matter of fact, it's on the page before. Let me put that up. The appeal is granted, and the issue of Mr. Cruz's eligibility is remanded to. Let me go to the next page. The Elections Committee for determination in light of dues exoneration. So he actually was exonerated. So like I said, the way that they tried to get me was not exonerate me, and basically they used COVID to attack me. And you know, it's wrong. This is what they do. They are so afraid of me. They don't want the change to happen in RTO. They don't want me to ignite real change and get in there and call them out on everything that they doing corrupt. They would prefer go along. I call it the go along, get along gang, and yes, men and women. That's what they would prefer. And this is what they do right now. We put in appeal with the neutral monitor, and the neutral monitor wouldn't even rule on it. She said that it's a case-by-case basis. And let's be real, when it comes to Tremel Thompson and a case-by-case basis, they are going to use discrimination to target me, to get me out of there. I have more than enough proof to show that they granted the same exceptions for people in the past, but when it comes to me, they wouldn't do it. So that's how they are attempting to eliminate me. Now, a lot of people are saying, no, okay, what's my next step, right? So now we have to appeal with the International Convention, which I'm not expecting them to do anything different than what the local did. Then, you know, we put in all our eggs in a basket to appeal with the Department of Labor. We believe that we have enough evidence to show that the union was not impartial. They was actually politically targeting me, so I cannot run. And if the Department of Labor rules in my favor and the election has passed, there will have to be a re-election. That means that members will have to vote all over again in every department, and we pay the union dues for that. They basically are willing, in order to eliminate me, they are willing to waste your money with this stuff. And this goes on to make me think maybe that's why they went to get that PPP loan, just in case something like this happened. They look at it as not coming out of their pocket, but them coming out of the members' pocket. And I believe that's what they're doing. So they politically are attacking me, trying to eliminate me. And I get it. I'm going to roll with the punches. I'm going to handle everything that I have to do. And I'm going to continue up the fight. And if I happen not to get the DOL to rule in my favor, then I'm going to spend the next 3 years building a strong opposition against them. They are going to see something that they never seen before. And it's going to be a strong militant movement. I'm not going to stop my fight working for the members, working to help the members. I'm not going to stop that. I don't care what the union say. And to be honest, I didn't get or started Progressive Action to get involved politically at all. Anyone who really knows me know that I hate politics. I hate politics because of stuff like this. I hate politics because of people are corrupt. They not honest. It's all about being self-serving and acting like they care for the people. I do not like politics. I did not get into this for politics, but now I'm in this to create change here. I have to get involved because I believe that I am the catalyst to change. I believe that my ideology works, and it has been working. Progressive Action have been backing management up. We are a force in the media. We are a force on social media. We have been doing our best from our tools, getting the job done. So I believe in my ideology, and if I were to get elected one day for vice president or for president, that we will get back to that change that we really need. We will get back to that hazard pay that we really need. We will get back to everything that we deserve, because we go stand 10 toes down, and it will be a different face of this union to do that. Now, what are my next moves? Who am I supporting? What's my stance? And all this other stuff, right? So last election, I put up Eric Logel, who's the current VP of RTO, and everybody know how that went for my department, right? He got in, he turned his back, he didn't do what I thought a man would do against people who was oppressing us. And if you look at what he did now, he's running with the opposition who has shortchanged us a whole bunch in this department. Now, I think that with the amount of influence that I have in this department, people actually listen to what I have to say. They take my word. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. I feel that I failed y'all last election in RTO. I really did. And I take full responsibility, because I put too much faith in a person who really didn't have faith in themselves, and who really wasn't loyal to what we stand on in progressive action. So it's very dangerous for me to co-sign anyone, right? I think as men and women, I think that people will feel more rewarding if they win standing on their own work, right? So as far as an RTO is concerned, I will not be supporting no officer. In fact, I would not be bashing any officer either, any potential candidate. I would not be doing that. I want people, I want to actually play the sidelines and be like you guys. I want to see who has the best plan. I want to see who has work to stand on, because it's easy to hide behind progressive action work and all the work that, you know, I have done in this department, and people see progressive action, they actually think fighters. And as we seen, Eric Logel dropped the ball with that last election. And I can't afford that again. I can't afford to let the members down, because to be honest, I could support someone and I can endorse someone, but there's no mechanism in place for me to keep them honest, right? There's absolutely no mechanism in place for me to keep them honest. I let people run with me without supporting the movement, and I'm talking about monetarily, because people seem to forget that a large part of progressive action is social media, and it costs money to keep this running over here. People don't want to donate, so there's really nothing that keeps people honest. People could say, yeah, Tramel, you know, I do whatever, I'll release you. I don't want to be released. That doesn't excite me. I'm gonna get the work done, whether it's from my tools or whether I'm released, but that doesn't excite me, right? I believe that in my department, no one is capable of leading a charge like me. Everybody got their own little good aspects, but I'm talking about as far as overall fight, knowing the contract, negotiating, respect for management, and things of that nature. I believe that nobody has all those attributes but me, and I only trust myself to do right by the members. I've been doing it for free, without a union release position, without the big 6-figure salary. I don't even work overtime. And the reason I don't work overtime is that because I put in a lot of time helping out members and things like that, right? In which my family has suffered, because I could be doing more for my family just by going out there getting extra money. But I like to keep a balance of my family and the members, and that's where my heart is at. But as far as me supporting anyone in my department, like I say, I feel I let you guys down last election. There wasn't nothing for me to keep a mechanism in place in order for me to keep Eric honest or accountable. And people could tell me anything. People would say, Tramel, you know, we could do this, we could do that, we could do this, and I'll do this for you, I'll do that for you. I don't care about that. There's absolutely no mechanism in place once those ballots go out and they get voted in. So what I believe in is that members should or candidates, I believe that they should be able to stand on their own work. I believe that they should be able to tell the members that what they have done and the positivity that they could bring, because I'm interested myself as far as how this is going to play out. But I'm not co-signing. Maybe it will possibly change after, my DOL ruling come. But as far as right now, I'm not co-signing no RTO VP candidate at all. None. No, I don't care. I don't care who it is. I don't care if my mother was to come and say that she's running. I'm not endorsing no VP candidate. Other candidates below that, below VP, I will co-sign, but I'm not co-signing no VP candidate at all. There will be there. In fact, I don't even know how that's gonna work, because progressive action, progressive change, that's all a derivative of progressive action. I'm not co-signing no progressive nothing. And I'm gonna support Paulie. I support that progressive change. But inside of RTO, I am not supporting no VP candidate, because I got screwed the last time. And I believe my word is bond, and I let you guys down. And I got let down myself, but I take responsibility for letting you guys down. And I'm not doing that twice. I'm not getting burnt twice, especially if I'm not at the top, because I trust myself. I don't trust nobody else no more. I learned a lot these past 3 years. So I'm not co-signing anybody that's running for. There will not be a progressive probably candidate in VP. Just not doing it. I wish everyone the best, and that's the most I could do. Everybody should have their own work to stand on, man. I worked hard, and then some people get next to you, because they know the influence that you bring, right? And I get it. I'm here for that in a way, but we go keep it 100. People got their own work to stand on. But yeah, I learned my lesson. I'm not endorsing anybody. Let me see. Anybody on the Zoom? Nobody on the Zoom? Nobody want to chat? But I'm telling you guys, just because I'm not endorsing anyone, I just want people to run off of their own stuff. I just want people to stand up on their own and run. I'm not gonna bash anybody. I'm not bashing anybody. I'm not go say don't vote for this person unless they say some BS. I'm not saying vote for this person. I'm not saying anything. I want people to win. And after the election, if anybody need help making this membership work, I'm gonna help them. I don't care who it is. I don't care what department. I'm going to help if people want to create the change that we really need here. Not the go along, get along change, but the real militant, radical change that we need here, which this union was built off of, which Mike Quill followed. That's what we need to get to. It worked. It has never failed. But if you just tuning in, I have been disqualified from running by the union. They had used COVID against me because I wasn't getting paid, and it's all political. But the fight is not over. We still got the Department of Labor, and it is what it is. I'm not gonna stop my fight for the members. Them disqualified. They acting like them disqualifying me stops the work. It don't stop the work. It's not. I'm definitely gonna tell you not to vote for them. That's a fact. I'm definitely, anybody running on Stand United, I am telling people not to vote for you. That's just how that's going to work. I'm not supporting no Stand United candidate. They all have to go. They may be nice people, but that ideology has to go. That ideology cannot survive here. We can't let it fester on this property no more. You're a part of Stand United. You are a part of that ideology. I will tell people not to vote for you. Everyone else, may the best person win. Now, I definitely need you guys to continue supporting the movement. You can support via Cash App. The Cash App is Progressive Action 100. And like I said, it's a lot going on. The fight continue. I don't want to talk no election stuff. Not talking no election stuff unless it has everything to do with my appeals in the international and the DOL and things of that nature. That's what I'm dealing with. Good luck with y'all running the race, and I'ma chill. And if a re-election come, I'm going to show people how to do this. We're going to get the change that we really need, man. We're going to get the change that we really need. But yeah, if you want to donate to the movement, Progressive Action 100. I'll catch you guys later.